Two more UDFA breakdowns coming you guys' way. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love as always. Pat the Designer back at it again. Today we got to talk about two more guys that I think, one, I think the guy you keep an eye on at training camp, and the other, I think someone who can make a real impact as far as a depth piece in the beginning, but has some really good upside that the Bears might want to keep around. They could have found a gem with this one. We're talking about Caden Barnett and Coleman Bennett today. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you stay in tune with us, man. Let's jump straight into this. I think that these are two really good names that the Chicago Bears have brought in here. Like I said, one that I believe is more of a camp body, one and could win a spot here, and one that I think could be very, very interesting for the Chicago Bears as things continue to go on here. So let's start it off here with Coleman Bennett, running back out of Kennesaw State. He's 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. To me, right now, I think you're talking about him as a camp body, but you also can have tremendous upside with some guys that you view as camp bodies. And this is not to hype him up or blow smoke up your skirts on whatever the player is. To me, though, when you watch him play, he does not go down at first contact. He does not go down at second contact. And he has a speed, while he does only run a 4.6 40, right? And right, look at me, man. Only runs a 4.6 40. I get it. But while he runs a 4.6 40, you look at a guy who is able to build his speed as time goes on throughout the play while dealing with contact. And the one thing that I think is a physical style runner, the biggest thing though that I think that you can say about him is his contact balance is astounding. And it's the one thing that I think could make him very intriguing at the NFL level. Now, on top of that, I think some good things that you see out of his tape and out of his game. As far as being a receiving running back, you see a guy who can be very useful in a Ben Johnson system. Now, the speed not being there may be an issue, but as far as being able to throw the football over the middle, being a big target, being somebody that the quarterback can rely on, Coleman Bennett fits that to a T. And I think that there's a lot of really good that you can see from him. Now, of course, the jump in competition is going to be a massive leap, as it is for most college players, but a little bit more there, right? Coming from Kennesaw State, you're not seeing that same level of competition. But at the end of the day, right, you've got a player on this team that I think if you want to talk about understanding the system, learning the system, and being able to excel at that, he might be a tough cut for the Bears as things go on. Now, the one thing that I would say as far as a little bit of a knock on him, I didn't see him be very much of a pile mover in short yardage situations, and at 6 feet, 210 pounds. You would think that a guy would do that, right? Think about Kyle Monungai at a much smaller stature, but his legs never stop churning. His legs never stop moving when he's in that pile. And so you can kind of see the pile end up moving, even though it may look like at first it stopped. Nope, I'm still going. I haven't stopped moving. My legs haven't stopped churning. I don't see that enough from Coleman Barnett, or Bennett, I should say. So I do think that it's going to be a little bit difficult in that sense. You can't be that size and not be a guy that moves the pile. But I will say this as well, right? He's coming in to get NFL Now coaching. If he's able to take in that coaching, if he's able to adjust that small thing, which with his size, excuse me, you shouldn't be surprised if he figures out, hey, if I keep my legs churning and play a little bit more physical in the pile here, I'm going to be able to attack this. I would assume they're coming with the same mindset, even though Eric Bieniemy is out of the building, that they had for the running backs last season. And so to me, you saw DeAndre Swift play some of his most physical football. Will we see that again this season? And could that benefit a guy like Coleman Bennett? Realistically, right now where he's at, and just with the talent that we have on this roster, I would say that he's somebody who can make training camp, but probably ends up being around those last round of cuts. But someone that a team probably gives a nice look at, especially I would say even the Chicago Bears, right? Maybe a practice squad guy, if we're being honest about it, because we saw this multiple times where guys go down and they bring someone up and they're able to plug right in, understand the system. You've got a really good offensive line here that's going to open things up for them. I think that that's going to be very big. And the bottom line of it all, and we know how this goes at camp, special teams will decide it. He's a big body. He's shown that he can cover kicks. He can protect on returns. He could be a return option, although you'd probably want somebody with a little bit more speed last year. And he can be trusted in those jobs that are, what's the right way to say it, right? The unsung jobs, right? The things that you have to do to make this football team, but maybe, those aren't the ones that get the glamour looks, right? And we've seen players that we felt should have gotten playing time on this team not get it because they haven't been able to do those things on special teams. So I think special teams decides his future in a major way. I would be very intrigued and keep my eye on a player like Coleman Bennett. Let me know how you guys feel about Coleman Bennett in the comments below. He does fit what the Bears do in offense very well because he does a little bit of everything. I mean, you can use him on inside zone. You can use him on duo. You can use him on screens because of his pass catching ability. I mean, as far as a pass catcher, he was really, really good. And his 4.25 shuttle last year would have been among the best in among all the players in college football. So to me, I think there's a real conversation that Coleman Bennett could be someone that makes this team. And like I said, it's going to come down to the special teams. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Do you think that he's somebody who you could see on the Chicago Bears team moving forward? All right, now I wanted to save the best for last because this is someone who everybody has gotten enamored with, mostly because of the nickname, right? And this is Caden Barnett. He's out of Wyoming, same school that Josh Allen went to, has played there till he was a senior. He is 6'4", 316 pounds. His nickname and the reason that everyone has become enamored with him is the Vanilla Gorilla. And I'll tell you what, he looks like a monster on the field. He is someone who, if you didn't know that he went as a UDFA and you watched his tape, you would feel like he should have been drafted. Doesn't mean he should have been drafted high, but you would feel like, how did this guy fall out of the draft? When you watch him, I mean, he is a powerful guy that, especially in the run game, finds his way to get to the second level pretty consistently by blowing through the guy on the first level. He plays with the nasty attitude that you want an offensive lineman to have. He is trying to blow guys apart every single chance that he gets on the field. He's listed as a tackle on Wyoming's website. His senior year, he played guard most of the time. I think that, that's going to be, that probably would help him as he enters camp here, because the guard position is one that the Bears are going to have to keep an eye on. Not to say that it's going to be a position this season, but just like I talked about with Jaron Kump yesterday, and if you missed yesterday's video, make sure to tap the link at the end of the video or just go to the Breeze channel. It is listed on there where we broke down Miller Moss and Jaden Crump. But Jaron Crump, I should say. But to me, I think that guard is one that the Bears are going to be focusing in on heavily with these guys, because you want guys that can step in and fill in shoes of the potential of Joe Thuney eventually being gone here, right? And so you're trying to keep your eye on that position. Now, to me, when I look at him, I think you're talking about, if you want to be an RAS score guy, you can pair this with tape, though. This is not pure RAS, but he was a 9.5 RAS score guy, which is excellent for an offensive guard prospect. He moves incredibly well. I think that the speed in the run game is something that is very exciting. And I'll tell you this is one thing that Yurko has always said when he talks about if you're going to get offensive tackles or any offensive lineman. This young man has a wrestling background that continues to show up on the play. When you talk about leverage, when you talk about balance, when you talk about grip, hand fighting, body control, all of those things that go into wrestling, you can see him utilizing that wrestling background on the field on a consistent basis. And he's very, very explosive, especially in short yardage games. Now, the pass pro needs a little bit of improvement. That is why he probably went UDFA, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's elite at everything. I loved him more in the run game than I did love him in the pass game. I think that there's a lot of polish that is there, but he has all the tools available to him. It is just a matter of, hey, are you going to be able to get the most out of this young man? I think the technique probably needs a little bit of a refinement, which again goes down to coaching. And I think he doesn't have the feet to be a tackle, which is fine. Like, these are the knocks that we've seen come up against him, which is fine. You put him inside as guard. The things that I love about his game and where he fits in with the Bears here, I think as a pulling guard, he would be ridiculous. I think if you want to use him on double teams and a heavy run game style game plan that the Bears have used at times, I think that would be phenomenal. If you want to use him in duo, if you want to use him in inside zone, if you like, there's so much that you can utilize him for. And that versatility is what makes him, to me, real competition on the field as far as the guard position. Now, Jaron Kump, of course, he played all positions on the offensive line. This has been more tackle and interior, so that may help Kump kind of have the advantage going into camp with where, Coleman Barnett is. But to me, I'm sorry, Barnett and Bennett probably wasn't the best choice. Caden Barnett, and both C's, Caden Barnett was. But at the end of the day, to me, I think you've got a player that's shown you a ton, that has shown you the attitude. And if you can refine some of the things that he has, you could have a guy that, if you told me in 2-3 years he's a starting guard on this team, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be shocked at all, because I think that he's shown you that level of playability, especially, and there's a difference, right? And you can see it when you watch college football and things like that. There are the guys that you look at and you go, yeah, he's an NFL player. And then there's the guys that, usually are going up against him and you go, yeah, he's an NFL player because he's destroying that guy on a consistent basis. When you turn on Caden's tape, like, I think that is the thing that you continue to see, is when they're not NFL guys playing across from him, he dominates. When there are guys that are NFL caliber playing across from him, he maintains and he does his job really well. He doesn't dominate, but he does his job really well. And at the end of the day, that's really all you can hope for from a prospect. And so it'll be exciting to see what he's able to pull off at camp. I can't wait to see what he's going to look like after he gets with Dan Rochar for a while. I think, if you're talking about a ceiling right now, if you're talking about my expectation, I think he's someone who really could be on this roster, a quality backup guard who can give you some spot starts at times. And a couple years, give him some time, could develop into a low-end starter. Bottom line, he's somebody who, at a minimum, I would love to see the Bears have on the practice squad and not let get away. Let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. More content coming you guys' way throughout the day. Of course, make sure that you are checking out the Chicago Bears podcast. And do me a favor, y'all. Do me a favor. If you're rocking with the channel, right? If you're rocking with your boy, Pat the Designer out here, I know a lot of y'all just tap in, y'all listen, y'all, and you go about your day, and I appreciate you for that. Take a quick second, though. Drop a bear down on this video. If you're listening on the Chicago Bears podcast, drop a bear down on that video, man. Show some love to your boy in the comments as well, because it gets crazy in these comments sometimes. It gets crazy in these comments sometimes, dog. Like, must be coming reckless in the comments sometimes. And I be wanting to fight back so hard, but I'm trying to be a better person. So I'm asking the Breeze Army, help me fight my battles. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. Big shout out to you guys for tuning in to the show. Love as always. Better, I want love. Peace.